Hello my cine chums and welcome to week 40 of the 2023 Weekly Movie Challenge, where every week we issue you a challenge to watch a movie that meets certain criteria, preferably a new movie to yourself, because you don't really want to watch 2001: A Space Odyssey for the 100th time, do you?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
Okay, fine, watch Space Odyssey again, see if I care. Last week's challenge was to watch a movie about something that, if you went without it for a week, you'd miss it. As always, you came up with the goods, so thanks for everyone who took part in this week's challenge. Only one movie received multiple views this week, and that was Elemental. From those of you who took the challenge a little too literally, with I'd Miss Water. The thing most missed this week was Pets, as we saw with viewings of Milo and Otis, Cats Don't Dance, and The Secret Lives of Pets 2. Rewards for multiple watches this week. First of all, there's Overlord of G4, who said they'd missed the internet, so they watched Fear.com, Slender Man, and Unfriended the Dark Web. Chapman's friend said they'd missed music, watching Hearts Beat Loud. They'd also missed their favourite sport team, so they watched Celtic Pride. Finally, Baggy Trousers said they'd missed their family and their pet pug, watching The Family Man and Milo and Otis. Shout out to Dave Ratcliffe, who gave us the biggest laugh this week for saying he'd missed lunch. And the less said about Lucas's choice, the better. For this week, we have a ship challenge for you.
What?
I said a ship challenge, S-H-I-P, as in boats, airships, spaceships, etc. As always, some ideas to get the brain flowing. Starting off with ships and boats, first of all, there's an affair to remember about a couple who fell in love on a boat. The Poseidon Adventure is one of our favourite boat-based movies. I would imagine most of you have seen it. However, I'm bringing it up just in case you haven't. And it's in our mind because we recently caught a bit of the 2006 remake starring Kurt Russell and Richard Dreyfuss while we were away. On its release, we didn't really fancy Battleship. However, having seen reviews over time suggest it's a really good and fun popcorn movie, that found its way onto our watch list, so we might watch that this week. Finally, In the Heart of the Sea, directed by Ron Howard, that was a really fun movie about a whaling boat and a giant whale, which eventually became the inspiration for Moby Dick. Looking at airships, there's the Hindenburg, which is based on the 1937 Hindenburg disaster, The Rocketeer, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, and the new Netflix Gal Gadot film, Heart of Stone, all feature airships. We haven't seen any of them, so we can't comment any more on it. However, The Rocketeer has been on my watch list for a while, so that or Battleship, or both. Finally, looking at spaceships and UFOs, you probably know by now that when we suggest a challenge, we're quite happy for you guys to play fast and loose with it, as long as it helps you get something watched off your watch list. However, the concept here is spaceships, not space. So as long as a spaceship or a UFO is integral to the plot or plays a large part of the film, that's what we're after, not just films set in space. In my top 5 movies of all time is 2001: Space Odyssey. We know it's quite polarising. It's widely regarded as one of the greatest movies ever made. However, there's a lot of people that dislike it, especially the final act. If you haven't seen it, again, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't enjoy the ending of it, you will be absolutely amazed at the filmmaking that took place back in 1968. Side note, its sequel, 2010, the year we made contact, is a very, very different movie, much more traditional. However, if you haven't seen that, again, that's well worth a viewing, but watch 2001 first. Close Encounters of the Third Kind was one of those movies that it took me far too long to watch, and when I eventually got around to watching it, I hated how long I'd left it. Absolutely stunning movie. Watch it if you haven't. Sunshine, Danny Boyle's movie about the starship Icarus taking a crew up to the sun to set a nuclear weapon off to kickstart the sun, which was dying, is a bit more serious than the plot sounds. However, well worth a viewing if you haven't already seen it. If you fancy something more dumb and fun, while not a spaceship movie, The Core would work for this challenge as well. About a ship that takes a crew to the centre of the Earth's core, again to set off a nuclear bomb to kickstart the Earth's core. Finally, Passengers is a movie about a starship taking hundreds of passengers on a 120-year journey All the passengers are in hypersleep. However, there's a fault, and one of the passengers is woken up 30 years into their 120-year journey. Left alone on the spaceship, he decides to revive one of the other passengers so he's not by himself anymore. So just a couple of ideas to get you thinking. Let us know in the comments what you're thinking of watching, or if you've got any suggestions, recommendations that other people might be able to watch. And on that note, thanks for watching. Good luck with the challenge. We'll see you next week.